So Donald Trump won, and now we're in the aftermath. We're here to find out how people reacted to the news. And honestly, I'm just really relieved that the liberal women seem to take it in their stride.
I'm sorry. No! Why?
Wow. Okay, she's not happy.
Why? Do you really hate me that bad?
Imagine cheating on her and she finds out. She'd stab you so quickly without a second's thought. There's going to be a lot of this on today's show, let me warn you. So subscribe for more of this quality content. Yeah, fucking hell.
I don't relate to you, no, 'cause I never treat me this shit.
Why is she crying so bad? Like, this is the thing, right? This is the result of all of this left-wing media stuff of saying he's the next Hitler. Democracy is finished if Trump gets in. They've terrified these poor women into thinking that their lives are over because the president has changed. I mean, it's just mental. Not that much is going to change, ladies. Relax yourself. This might be from a bad breakup. And she thought, it just works for the Trump win as well, though, doesn't it? Reuse it. Recycle old content, which I'm here for. And the funny thing is while these women are like cursing Donald Trump is actually going out of his way to try and help Kamala Harris, who, despite raising $1 billion to spend on a fucking campaign, still ended up in debt. This is the woman who was supposedly going to save the economy. She can't even manage her own finances. And it's so ironic that Donald Trump, who had like a third of the money, still had money left over. This is what happens when you buy all these celebrities off, by the way. This is what we were talking about in the last video. And remember how Kamala and Biden were saying that Donald Trump was the next Hitler? Well, since he won the election, their tunes have sort of changed ever so slightly.
Yesterday, I spoke with President-elect Trump to congratulate him on his victory. And I assured him that I'd direct my entire administration to work with his team to ensure a peaceful and orderly transition.
Before he won, he was Hitler, and we couldn't possibly bear the thought of him being the leader. Now he's the leader. Actually, what we were saying is a load of rubbish, and here's the reins, Donald. Crack on, son. It shows how ridiculous this whole thing was. And while Kamala and Joe Biden have done a lot of finger-pointing at Donald Trump for a long time now that the numbers are in from the election, we got a chance to see how they differed from previous elections. And, well, the findings were quite interesting. So you'll see here, Barack Obama in 2008 did nearly 70 million votes. In 2012, he did 66 million. Hillary Clinton in 2016 did 66 million. So very, very consistent here, ranging between that 66 and 70 million mark. In 2020, the election that Donald Trump said he thought was rigged and that was stolen from him, Joe Biden, a guy who was not that popular by comparison to Barack Obama. Barack Obama was always way more popular than Joe Biden. Joe Biden did 81.3 million votes. And interestingly, the very next election, Kamala Harris comes right around where Barack Obama was sitting between the 66 to 70 million mark, just over 66 million there. Why is there an outlier where Joe Biden has got so many more votes? And where did those votes disappear to in this election? Because you can't sit and tell me that that vegetable, Joe Biden, was extremely popular. Barack Obama was one of the most popular presidents ever at the time. Now he's not. But back then, people loved this man. And Joe Biden beat him by, what, 15 million votes or something? It doesn't add up. Now, I'm not saying that means that Donald Trump and the theories about the rigged election are right. But where are they? Where are these voters gone? Because they haven't gone to Donald Trump, because he didn't do more votes, I don't think, this time than he did the last time. So where have they gone? It's fucking fishy, at the very least. One other thing that's been pointed out from this election even is apparently the states that Donald Trump lost were almost exclusively, by the looks of it, the ones which didn't require a voter identification. Now, does that mean the left have been caught cheating here? No, not necessarily, but fuck me, it looks terrible. I think that they are two of the most polar opposite candidates we could ever had. And I like that, by the way. As much as I don't like left and right and all that, give us alternative. Give us completely different people. Because in the UK, I don't think we've had a fucking option that felt any different from either side in the last fucking God knows how long. But when you give people two complete polar opposite choices, it usually encourages more people to vote because they tend to hate the other side even more, which gives them more motivation to get out of bed and go and actually vote. So the fact that there would be less votes this time, when it's been so bitchy, so catty, so much hatred between these two, doesn't add up either for me. And that's why I can't understand those numbers now. People made a lot of fun of Donald Trump for not accepting, you know, the results and that, but it does add weight to that argument.
I'm surprised at the results, but I'm not surprised. As a woman of color, I was so hopeful that a mixed race woman married to a Jewish guy could be elected president of this country. And I think that it had nothing to do with policy. I think this was a referendum of cultural resentment.
So she's basically blaming it on the colour issue. Barack Obama was elected twice back to back with an insane turnout and a level of adulation I don't know if we've even seen since then. I mean, this man was worshipped the first time round especially. So for her to pin all of this on, well, you know, she's a woman of colour, therefore it just reflects really badly on the American people, and you're all to blame because you're all big racists. They've already had a black president twice, back to back, and proved that that's not the main issue here when it comes to voting for a president. She's just shit, mate. But oh no, we couldn't possibly admit that, could we? And this is what people like this woman, I've seen clips of her before. They've done this the whole way through and shaming people into trying to vote for Kamala instead of giving them good reasons.
Aside from buck naked dancing on the top of the table, I don't know what else she could have done.
I don't think she could have done more. I think she left it all out on the field. I think she raised $1 billion in 3 months. I think that she ran a flawless campaign, and I maintain that.
Flawless. Absolutely flawless. She could barely answer a fucking question, love. She raised $1 billion. No, the people who run the Democratic Party raised that money for her, and she was handpicked, pushed to the front, as if she's some sort of the brains behind the operation. She blew the whole fucking budget to a point where she ended up in debt after raising $1 billion. How's that flawless? $1 billion on a campaign that consisted of her going, I'm not Donald Trump, vote for me. I mean, come on, flawless? Was this flawless, was it? Look, it's looking pretty good. I'm not saying it's not, you know, appealing, but it's not something that's going to encourage me to fucking vote for you, you idiot. Should we get Jenny from the block? That'll be flawless. People want to hear from J-Lo about her skincare routine, not the fucking who you should vote for. Come on now. The woman's had 4 divorces. We should not be getting any sort of advice from her. She's the most beautiful woman in the world for the last 30 years. She can't keep a man. Something's not right with her, I'm telling you now. But anyway, a bit more from, what's her name? Flawless.
What we did not have is white women who voted about 52%, right, for Donald Trump, uneducated white women.
Uneducated white women. Do you listen to this shit? This is the way they talk down to people in America. I can't believe people even watch this crap. She's like, oh, they voted against their reproductive rights. He's already said, and I don't know how many times Trump's had to say this, I'm not getting involved in abortions. I'm going to let the states decide. It's not even my responsibility. That means if you can't get an abortion in your state, you drive to another state, you can get it there. And she's saying, oh, why would they vote against their own reproductive rights? I mean, maybe they're voting for his policies. You know this. The deliberate blind spotting that they're pretending so much information does not exist. Their job, they're paid to be on this panel to literally just say what the bosses who own these companies want them to say. They wouldn't be selected otherwise. And they wonder why they're getting their arses kicked by podcasters. It's because podcasters are real people, independent thinkers with their own platforms who say what they think and ask open and honest questions and allow for a real dialogue between both sides. That is not what these lot give you. And people can see that now. It's as if they're acting like the internet doesn't exist and that they can keep on with this trash and that people don't have context. They've got you worked out, you fucking morons. I mean, how dumb you have to be to listen to this lot. She's talking about uneducated. Every second spent listening to this lot, you get dumber.
A district that's 97% Latino went 75 percentage points for Donald Trump. Why?
Misogyny.
It's on the border.
It's
the border crisis is on their doorstep.
So
and they were begging people to care about it for years. We need to take some lessons.
That's what that.
Misogyny and sexism is the only reason why you'd not vote for that clown. And that is how they've continued to shame people into feeling guilty about their own race or their own gender, as if they're just bad people because they think Donald Trump is better than that muppet. I think think it's a disgrace that this woman is afforded the right to label so many millions of people as misogynist and sexist without any proof, without anything to back up what she says, just because they made a different decision to her. The fact that they allow her on that TV show is a fucking joke. And it shows that they don't take themselves seriously. You're just here to stir people up, to piss people off, and to not say a fucking intelligent thing. And it's funny because, you know, we see the contrasting answers that these two people gave to questions, where Donald Trump was asked about how he's going to improve the economy, and he gave real in-depth answers about energy prices and how he's going to change the way farming is done, and just like a multitude of things that he came out with. And then you ask the same question to Kamala. I've seen this back to back. She didn't have a fucking clue what she was saying. It always starts with, well, I'm glad you asked that question and thanks for coming today. She's just buying herself time because she doesn't know where the fuck she's going. And she just trails off into nothingness. But if you don't vote for her, you're a racist or a sexist. It's a joke. And this shit shouldn't fly anymore with people. Stop being made to feel guilty because you can see who's a more intelligent person than the other one.
How do you interact with people who you know voted for this? Right? If you are an LGBTQ person and you know someone in your family voted essentially against your rights, or you're a woman knowing that, you know, this man was calling people the B word, J.D. Vance was literally calling Kamala Harris the trash.
They literally called him Hitler. Name calling. You can't throw any stones when you compared him to someone who killed millions of people.
We're going to take out the trash. I know a lot of black women were incredibly triggered by that.
Oh my God, because he said one thing about one person, that means he's talking about everyone of colour, all women. What the fuck is this nonsense? How do these people get on TV? I mean, this one here, she's a fucking moron of the highest order. I mean, of everyone I've ever watched on American television, she is the dumbest idiot of them all. And by the way, this is a conversation about how to talk to people after they voted differently to you. Get on with it! We've got a difference of opinion. So what? You're friends and family still, aren't you?
Do you recommend, just from a psychological standpoint, being around them? We got the holidays coming up.
It's completely fine to not be around those people and to tell them why. You know, to say, I have a problem with the way that you voted because it went against my very livelihood. And
this is a doctor here, by the way, a psychologist, I think, saying if someone voted differently to you, fuck them off out of your life. And by the way, their whole rationale for this of voted against your livelihood, no, they didn't. You're not losing any rights. This is all a lie. Now, apparently, women out there aren't just not wanting to see their friends and families for the holidays, but they're also not wanting to have sex anymore as a form of protest. I really wish this was a joke.
I think all women should stop having sex for the next 4 years, in protest and protection of your bodies. As we know, if that little baby inside you gives you any trouble and you need an emergency healthcare, you're fucked and you're gonna die. I think that is sufficient enough reason to stop having sex.
There is also the idea of, what do they call it again? Protection, yes. And again, what she's saying about not being able to get an abortion is not true. Donald Trump did not just get into power and go, abortion's banned. He hasn't said that. And this is what happens when the media lie to these women over and over and over again, because they never listen to Trump because they just believe what they're being told. They have no fucking clue what they're saying is absolute horseshit.
I personally think that if all of these men are voting to take our rights away, they don't deserve to touch a woman for the next 4 years. So hope you thought that through, you guys.
They're not taking your rights away, but if you don't want to touch them, I'm sure they'll live. Again, these women have been brainwashed and they don't know what they're saying. Why is it all sex driven? Is this the only thing you lot have to barter with? Is this the only thing we need from you? So you're like, we'll take sex away. Is that it? Do you know what we'll take away? Industry, like all sorts of, all of the hardest jobs that none of you women want to do, we'll take that away. The offshore oil production just shuts down. How's that electricity working for you, love? Ironically, that's what's labelled at men. All you think about is sex. Straight away, if something goes wrong, no sex for you.
I hate to break it to you motherfuckers, but guess what? The lesbians are gonna fuck all your wives now. Ask my ex.
I can't believe we've got lesbians threatening to fuck the wives. That was not what I expected to see in the aftermath. I hope it's consensual, let me tell you. But, you know, at some point, they'll come back for that real meat, okay? Don't you worry about it, love.
Not that my content reaches a lot of men because I have an IQ of 130, but I want the men in this country to know that half the female population, we're dry. We're probably gonna stay dry. I'm dry as a desert, baby, and I don't want it to change.
She starts off by going, my content reaches a lot of men because I have an IQ of 130. I mean, if you're that smart, surely you've worked out why men may be watching your videos, love. It ain't the IQ. Let me tell you. She's actually a decent looking girl. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not here to just shit on people. But when you say I'm dry as a desert, less good looking. Let me tell you. It just makes us curl up and die inside. Let's see how your views are for the next month.
We're not gonna like you anymore. You understand that? Like, it doesn't matter if you take away abortion. Like,
we're not taking away abortion for the 10th time.
Even if you take away contraception, like, women are really good at celibacy because you guys are actually a threat to us.
She's a really traumatized woman, this one. And I say that in like, not even in a nasty way. It's sad that something as insignificant to her life really is who the president's going to be. And she's obviously convinced herself, despite her 130 IQ, that it is going to be that much of a difference maker to her life. It isn't, right? Relax, man. But the other stuff that you've got to work on, the inside of the man-hating bit, I don't know what went wrong in your childhood, but I do think therapy would be the best course of action for you, if you don't mind. Oh no, not a flight one. This is a woman kicking off with a Trump supporter on a flight.
This woman is not happy she's sitting next to a Trump supporter. Watch how her failure to settle down leaves her regretting her choices.
Look at that mind.
She has called me names and insulted me just for sitting down in the seat, saying that I came here to celebrate today.
Is there going to be a problem? I would like for him to change seats with someone. No, I'm going to get somebody. Well, you don't have that right. So I will get somebody from the car.
She's literally tried to boss the whole airplane round and make sure that this guy is removed from sitting next to her when he's doing nothing wrong. Yeah, he's just sitting there.
You pretend you have the moral high ground, but you put that man's finger on the nuclear button. That man doesn't believe in climate change. Do you believe in gravity? Did you know gravity is just a theory?
Oh, she's getting escorted off. Get your shit and leave, love. Pack your shit. Get the fuck off the plane.
Despite her disruptive nature, she believes she's done no wrong and refuses to leave.
Unbelievable.
He is in my space.
Well, she's causing hostilities.
Oh my god, easy way or the hard way. You're getting the fuck off the plane.
I'm going home. My mother-in-law, his mother, died.
Oh my god. His mother died. Well, how about if you get on the plane, can you just not cause a fucking scene, love? Because his mom's just died. He's already going through enough, and all she can think about is her own fucking opinion. Imagine what fucking life this poor bastard's got. His mother's just died, and he's fucking married to her. Good lord. If there's anyone who should be going without sex, it's him. To be fair, look at her. He probably already is.
I'm going home. There is no way I'm getting off this plane. Fine, I'll be quiet.
The captain wants you off, love. So guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to do what a man tells you to do.
My husband lost his mother.
No one cares about that because you didn't care about your husband losing his mother when you wouldn't shut the fuck up on the aeroplane. You have some respect, you fucking arsehole.
What if we try to see some shit quiets down? How would that be? Apparently at this point, the captain's already been called.
Maybe here.
Get off the plane. Get the fuck off the plane. Get her off. Get her off. Go on. Get out of here.
Even after the husband's offer to trade seats, it's a little too late for this couple.
Too little,
and
too
the two
late,
were swiftly
bitch.
escorted off the plane.
Get off the fucking plane. I love that, by the way. Do you know when someone's like an entitled, know-it-all arsehole, and then they just they play the I'm the victim, they fucking treat anyone like shit, which is basically the whole campaign of the left. That's what you get. Get out of here. You're fired, Kamala. Get out. Just because someone voted differently to you, you fucking think you can just speak to them like shit. And now, a word from our sponsors. A big shout out to today's sponsor, which is is Ground News. This is a fantastic news website which gathers articles from around the world in one place so you can compare how different outlets cover the same story. So here's how it works. I found this article using my Vantage subscription on Ground News on Kamala Harris and Joe Biden congratulating Trump on his victory. And alongside your articles, you get this additional information which is really helpful, like 319 total news sources, and then the bias distribution box, which helps you understand where this news is coming from. Is it more right-leaning or left-leaning? Was it heavier swayed in one direction? As you can see here, the left being 25%, the right being 26%, and then the middle being 49%. It's a very evenly distributed amount of coverage both ways. And you can even compare headlines side by side so that you can get an idea, a good perspective on how the narrative is changing. For example, these two headlines are very different in that Kamala has conceded the election to Trump and tells supporters to fight on for some reason. The election is over. That was a left-leaning article written, obviously, because they're saying that this isn't over. Whereas to a right-leaning article right underneath, nothing mentioned of this fight on narrative. And one of my favorite features on this site is called the blind spot, which gives you a chance to see stories that are covered disproportionately by one side of the political spectrum. And if you click the link in the description below, you can subscribe now to Ground News. It's ground.news/TG, and you can get the same Vantage plan that I've got. And you'll get 50% off with unlimited access to all the features on the site. And by the way, that is for a limited time only, so get on it while you can, because this is a brilliant website doing a great service for people like me who want to make sure they know where they're getting their news from. So thanks again to Ground News for sponsoring this video, but for now, enjoy the video.
For the astrology girlies, I just want to know, I have been studying Kamala's charts, and it looks like she is not only going to win, but she is going to be winning a second term. The next 8 years in her chart look really, really strong. Trump's, not so much. Okay, so I was wrong.
Who'd have thunk it? Astrology, sometimes not completely accurate.
But if you think that right now is the time to tell me that you don't believe in astrology, who gives a f about astrology right now, dude?
I mean, none of us, and that pretty much goes for any time you ask us that question.
Who literally cares about that?
Well, we can't now because it's been disproven. You told us one thing was going to happen, the other thing happens, therefore, this is bollocks. I hope she's not financially impacted by being showing up like that, because obviously the people normally ring her up and ask her, like, you know, what's me star sign and whatever. Now she's not going to get the phone calls. I suppose she can always just put herself on a sex ban. That'll make herself feel better.
Walking down the street to go get my medication because I'm out and I need it for today. And I saw a woman walking her 2 kids, and she had this look on her face. And I looked at her, we made eye contact, we both kind of nodded. Like we were both just devastated, and you could just tell in her eyes.
What could you tell? Tell me. What could you tell? What could you tell?
I can't believe this country did this again.
Do you know how she mentioned at the start about the medication? There was no woman and 2 kids. That's why she needs the medication. She's schizophrenic. These women, man, are just, they're so entertaining. I wish we could do this every year.
Can someone tell me what MAGA men find attractive so that I can wear the complete opposite?
I think you nailed it. Just carry on. Just carry on. You're fine. You're fine.
I hate to be the person that gets on here and cries.
But you're gonna do it anyway.
But this could break me and my parents apart, because they just don't understand what they voted for and like what it means, and
explain. Come on, are you gonna say the same old bullshit?
Bigotry and hatred that they stand behind, and how I am trying to be a good person. I'm not Catholic like they are, which is ironic because it's like religion's supposed to make you love. But I could see it like breaking me and my parents apart because they just don't get it, and they don't get that they voted for someone who's gonna make my friends' lives hell.
What's he gonna do? Start spreading rumors about them? Like, what the fuck are we doing? You're acting like the toxic person in this situation is Donald Trump, but you're actively saying that you're willing to stop speaking to your parents just based on who they voted for. These are the bill payers who fucking raised this twat, by the way. So, by the way, you're wondering where the clothes on the back and the food on the table of this girl have come from her whole life. It's the same parents who voted for Donald Trump. But she's willing to say, thanks for all of that, but fuck you, because you voted for someone I don't really like. But Donald Trump's the toxic person in this situation. Don't forget that.
What is wrong with you? I can't do this anymore. I'm literally sick. I'm literally sick to my stomach. What has happened to America? What has happened to democracy? What has happened to freedom?
Literally, people use democracy to elect someone, and it worked as it should. So I hope that answers that question.
I'm done. This is a message to anyone who follows me. If you voted for Trump, unfollow me and block me. If you didn't vote, unfollow me and block me. The fact that it's this close means I've lost all hope in the American people. Like, it should not be this close. Why would anyone vote for this person? He's so evil. He's so demented.
I really feel sorry for the level of indoctrination these people have. I'm not saying Trump is the greatest guy in the world. Like, you're acting as if Kamala is fucking the second coming of Jesus. She's not.
If you're a conservative woman, here's how I'm gonna fix your life, okay? So you just got married to your husband. Your husband is blatant, just redneck garbage.
Garbage? Okay, well, in terms of the UK, I guess I would qualify as a bit of a redneck for the UK. So let's see what she's saying here.
I'm gonna seduce your husband. I'm gonna seduce your husband.
You're awfully confident, love. I'm not really sure you'd be great at that, but let's let her go for it.
I'm going to look him in the eye, and I'm gonna explain to him that nobody has ever made me feel the way he has. And I'm younger than you, conservative woman that married him. And I'm gonna start, like, explaining that I'm just so fun and I like doing fun shit. Because you're probably married and you can't do fun shit. And then once I do that, and I implement your fucking marriage arc, he's gonna cause some irrational feelings, which is going to establish itself in your marriage problems. And then you're gonna be like, why am I doing this shit for a man? This is where we get ya. Get ya, because then you're like, why am I supporting a guy that isn't doing anything for me? There you go.
That was really, really weird. And then you see this picture of her, and she's like, I'm going to seduce you. She's never seduced a man in her life, has she? Let's be real here. You don't know what you're doing, do you, babe? That's like me saying I'm just going to fly a rocket for Elon Musk. Like, I'm just going to do that. No problem.
My friend and I are talking about what country we can move to escape this incredible madness. I cannot believe this. It's like a fucking nightmare. I'm going to tell my son not to have children in this country.
I think if the girlfriends meet you, that'll probably do the trick.
Dangerous for his wife.
You're dangerous to his wife. You're fucking crazy.
How we could have all underestimated the misogyny and racism.
Oh, God, yeah, we go with the goddamn misogyny and racism. It couldn't possibly be that she was shite. She was fucking terrible. Even Biden, when he was on his last fucking legs of fucking brain power, still made better points than her. She's a moron. But oh no, we're supposed to just vote for her just to prove we're not a misogynist and a racist. Fuck you.
Knowing that I was born with more rights than I have now is a pretty crazy feeling.
Name them. Name the rights that you've lost. One at a time. I'm all ears. There are none. You fucking idiot. Sorry. I think I've been really, like, a bit more aggressive today. I'll tone it down. I'll calm down.
Knowing that what we're about to go through means the possibility of me losing more of my rights.
I'll tell you what you've got the right to do, love. Sort your fucking hair out. I mean, what kind of woman, right, gets on camera with her bed hair like that? Come on. No one's listening to you with hair like that.
And that being a real threat.
She's still not named a single right.
Insane.
Yeah. Are you insane, all right? You're fucking insane.
You have so much privilege.
Oh, these people, they love to be a victim, don't they? They fucking, they make me sick.
I'm done crying. My sadness is over. My anger has set in. I am a very petty person, and I am very proud of that. Love it about myself.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really great quality to celebrate about yourself, isn't it?
I say this in the most disrespectful way possible. I don't care if you are my family. I don't care if you're my friend. I don't care if we've been friends our entire lives. You can literally go fuck yourself if you voted for Donald Trump. If you are so sad about your groceries being expensive, get a better fucking paying job. Do better in life. Get a fucking education. Do something.
There's a lot of empathy here, isn't there? A real sense of caring about the people, which is, of course, what this is all about, of course.
Because you're fucking stupid. And I hope you go jump off of a fucking bridge.
Okay, first bloke that we've heard from so far took it a little too far there with the whole go and jump off a bridge, I think. Is there really any need? You know what I mean? We're supposed to be bringing everyone together now. Can we not unite? And the funny thing is, this guy was actually working at a University of Oregon and has been placed on administrative leave since making that video. Ironically, the only person to suffer any consequence for any of these crazy videos is a man. Who'd have thought it?
Feral! Today. Feral! If you see me, keep walking. Do not make eye contact.
If you're barking like a fucking dog, I think that would probably go without saying, like.
Don't act like you know me. Like, I want to eat... Like, maybe they voted for Kamala, but, like, I want to eat them right now. Like, I want to take a bite out of those glutes in a bad way.
Imagine a man made a video talking about women like this. He'd be in jail. He'd be a danger to society. We'd have him locked up, at the very least, watched for a long time. She's crazy. These are just poor, innocent guys who's walking along. They probably did vote for Kamala, right? A lot of men actually did vote for her somehow. And she's talking about eating their ass. Maybe it's a sexual thing, I don't know. But she's crazy. But at least she's in good company because there's plenty more of them.
Harris did not win.
Who won?
Trump. So
Take a breath. She's causing her children to have an anxiety attack here.
So today may look a little different at school. Okay, there are probably going to be friends who have questions.
It won't look any different at school. What the fuck is she talking about? This woman has got her children demented. Did you hear the heavy breathing and the anxiety? What has she been telling her kids about Donald Trump before this? She's got them demented. And look at her recording herself as she says this, that for dramatic effect. It's just showing you for the shit parent you are, you fucking psycho.
Right.
Is that Louis Theroux? Dressed as a woman. Oh, God. Great documentary maker. If you haven't seen, go and check them out.
I'm sure your teachers are going to...
Those poor kids.
It's all right. I feel that way too.
I'm fine. I don't know what the problem is, but go on.
All right. We feel that way together, okay?
I'm good. I'm absolutely fine. I don't know what the problem is.
Let it out.
I'm fine. Stop telling me to let anything out.
Let it out.
Let what out? Can you put it back in? Because I think you should stop letting it out right now, please. Can we take a minute? Go and read a book or something. Calm down.
Everybody wants to show the happy side.
What? Sorry, what? After what you've just done?
I'm mad as hell.
There's no doubt in my mind she could kill someone.
But because I have responsibilities, I'm gonna do these freaking dishes.
This world is so entertaining to me. What responsibility she's got? She's got to do the dishes.
I think if you voted for Donald Trump, you're ugly.
Name calling usually really works to change people's minds, doesn't it? Says me, like, fucking hell.
When all the bad stuff that's gonna happen happens to you, I actually want it to happen to you. I want your taxes to go up. I want things to be more expensive for you. I want you to have a complicated pregnancy. I want all that bad stuff to happen to you because that's what you deserve.
If everyone else's taxes are going up, hers are probably going up too. Also, wishing bad pregnancies on people, that's just a bit weird, isn't it? You're literally hoping that little innocent babies have issues with coming into the world. Is that the morally high ground that you're on here, is it? You absolute fucking lunatic.
I just texted my best friend. My best friend of 14 years. Literally half of my life. I'm 28.
Important friendship. Got to keep a hold of that. You know what I mean? Those long-term friends, they don't come around often. Look after her.
And they said, I'm assuming you voted the opposite. And I said, yes. And then my friend texted me and said, will you still be my friend?
Think about what she's just said there. Her friend immediately knew you might stop speaking to me over this. I still want to speak to you. I'm mature. I don't mind. Either way, it's all good. I still love you, still want to be your friend. But you might banish me from your life. And I don't want you to do that, please. That means that her friend knows the insanity that lives within this woman. And I can say that because she's crying on the internet over something that doesn't actually impact her that much. What are you going to do? You're going to keep her on as a friend? She's only got the one. You got to keep a hold of her.
Half of my life, this person is my best friend.
She hasn't shagged your husband, love. She's going to get rid of her. Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
How am I supposed to go to work?
Just get in your car, shut the door, drive there, start up as you normally do.
I am going to say this as nicely as I can. Please excuse the language. What fucking rights are you losing as a woman?
Thank God, thank God. There's a woman out there who said something sensible and restored my faith. Well done, lass. Yes! And look, it is sad that so many people have this idea that Donald Trump becoming president is the end of the world scenario. And as I broke down in my last video, it's very obvious why he's president. And it is quite a rational, logical decision to make when you've got Kamala and Trump in front of you. No matter, you know, I don't give a fuck about party politics at all. It was just an obvious decision to make when you look at his basic opinions and intelligence versus hers. Fuck skin color, fuck gender, fuck all of that. It's just obvious who the smarter person was out the two of them. But because the media have whipped people up into such a frenzy, we've got all of this crazy nonsense. We even had someone try to shoot Donald Trump. You think that wasn't related to the fucking brainwashing for online and in the media? I'm sure it was, if it wasn't something way darker. And I think one thing that would be a healthy idea for everyone who gives a fuck about this election is to just tone it down a little bit, have a bit of fun with it, man. At the end of the day, when Barack was president, when Biden was president, when Trump was president, was your life that much different? Yes, financially, it can change a lot. But other than that, the rights that people have saying they've been taken away, it's nonsense. And it's just a shame that people have been really brainwashed to such a degree that they're having this sort of manic episode over it when it's totally not necessary. And I hope within a few months, they all just calm the fuck down. I'll probably do another video covering the actual changes that Donald Trump is going to actually inflict on society, because some of them are actually quite interesting and none of them have anything to do with women. And I'm interested to know what you're going to think of that. But let us know what you thought of this video in the comments below and the reaction to Donald Trump being elected as the 47th president of America. Don't forget to hit the like button, stay subscribed to the True Geordie YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.